What you need to know is that Bob lived in Japan for 10 years with Heather, right?
Heather was with me 8 of them.
8 of them. And we're going to the inter sanctums, and I have been advised to take off my shoes.
You'll see why in just a minute. 10 years in Japan. I love Japan. 2 children made in Japan.
Nice.
1 made in America on July 4th.
Nice.
That's our American-born daughter. And I've always wanted a Japanese room in my home, but we've never had a house big enough to have a room that you really don't use that much. We had the perfect opportunity when we built here. We built a Japanese room. The sign on the door is Kaizen no Ma, which means the room of continuous improvement. And that's how our whole company is built. We're trying to get better in ourselves, as people, at work, in processes, taking care of customers. Everything is continuous improvement.
Okay.
Ready?
Shoes are off.
Oh, good. Now, you've already broke the rules because you're outside.
Okay, here. I'll go like this.
Thank you.
Okay. Just like this.
And your feet are never to touch the ground. So you have to make a step from the ground, kick out of your shoes, and step up without having your feet touch the ground. Because this is dirty, inside's clean.
Okay.
My wife, I think, is waiting for us. Do you think dinner's ready?
I have no idea, Bob.
Hey, I'm home.
Hi.
Hey, where are you?
Hi. Honorable Master, I'm so glad that you're home.
In Japan, the word for wife is the thing in the house. The word for husband is my honorable master. And this is how I have taught Heather to greet me at home. Where's dinner?
Oh, it's ready.
Is the bath ready?
Yes.
You have my newspaper.
Is right there.
Thank you. Welcome to our home.
Okay, so may I come in?
Yes, please. Now this is where you step from your shoes, leave your shoes. You don't touch down here because that's dirty. We're going to step right up and just leave our shoes there.
Okay.
And then the thing in the house will turn our shoes around for us. So when you leave, they're already turned around so you can step right into your shoes.
I'm sure Heather just fit in perfectly.
It took a couple days to get her into the real mode in Japan, but after 8 years, yeah, look at this. This is great. This is standard. People think it's really funny, but I'm used to this now at home.
Are you? Now tell us about this room. It smells beautiful in here.
And what we're smelling is the straw mats. Everything here is imported. The walls, Japan, their idea is bring nature indoors. Heavy on the wood. Very plain, not cluttered. The straw mats, plain walls, lots of wood, and then we sit on the floor. And for 8 years, this was our life. This would be a room in Japan where the children will come and do their homework at the table. The thing in the house would bring dinner from the kitchen out to the table.
I'm not buying this for a minute, Bob. Hey, Bob, you know it's women. They're primarily on this side, just so you know.
I hope they understand.
But I don't eat with the family. I serve the family. If they want food, I get them. As anything they want, seconds, I never eat with the family. I stand by and watch them eat.
Then after dinner, she kind of goes off and eats. Now, we're going to have some young Japanese people watching this, and they're going to say, Bob, you're crazy. This isn't how they do it. But this was 34 years ago.
This is old school.
Yeah. And I'm sure they're not quite like this now. But we have our fun.
And Bob loves old school.
So, come on in.
And now, Bob, how big is this room about, would you say?
It is an 8-mat room. Now, figure that out, because they measure it by the mats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when you rent an apartment or buy a house, they say how many rooms and how many mats each. 8-mat is the size. The standard is, there's some 6-mat rooms, and then if they go larger than 8, then it's kind of luxury where you get a 12-mat. Our apartment, we had a 12, 6, and a 6. Wow. So we lived in a place, including kitchen, bath, everything, about 3.5 times this big with 3 children. And that was our life.
It's a son LDK.
Yeah.
3, 8 mats.
Well, one room was a storage room.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was it.
Wow. It's amazing.
So please, welcome to our home. Have a seat.
Any rules to sitting down?
The formal way is to sit on your knees. Heather?
Should I demonstrate? Should I and demonstrate for you? And in Japan, they also don't have a lot of these seat backs. We ordered those because it killed us to sit for hours. And you just walk forward on your knees, come back.
And I'll tell you, 5 minutes like that, your legs are numb. 10 minutes, you're in pain. And after 20 minutes, you can't stand up.
Okay.
But they're used to it, and they can. But it's
Because they do it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so the more casual way now is you can sit what we call cross-legged Indian style.
Uh-huh.
Western style.
Western style.
I can sit like that.
And what do you guys use this room for?
We have our strategic planning. If we want to kind of get away, I've only come in here once and taken a nap. And I have never opened the door and seen somebody else napping, but I always worried that might be happening.
Uh-huh.
We come in and we'll plan. No phones and no computer. And we call it our war strategy room, how we're going to take over the thread world. And it's just strategic planning.
This is marvelous.
And come around this way, John, and that's the alcove.
The doll's wrong way.
In a Japanese home, they would have the alcove in one of these rooms, only one, and that's where you would have, if they're Buddhist, which the majority are, they'd have a Buddhist altar. And you would have probably your grandpa's or your grandma's photo up there, and you would give a
Food offering.
yeah, an offering to the Buddhist gods. And since we're not Buddhists, we don't have that, but we had that photo of that quilt is probably the most popular Japanese tourist destination. It's called the Golden Pavilion. It's in Kyoto. We took photos of it, and every time we go to Japan, we go there. We just love that place. And we met an art quilter. Heather, you tell the story on the art quilter. Trina Weller.
I was going to the Paducah show and we stayed at a bed and breakfast, and while I was there I met this wonderful artist. Trina Weller is her name, and she said she took photographs and made beautiful thread paintings out of them. And so I asked her, if we sent you a photograph of a building in Japan, could you make this for us? And this is what she did. It's really beautiful. There's so many aspects to this, but the real fun part is, that is the photo. If I can get that flat. There, is that flat enough? That's the photo we sent her, and then this is the thread painting she did, and she used all superior threads in this. I just want to point out a few things. She used upholstery fabric for the roof, and that made it kind of stiff, and it looks exactly like the real roof. Then she used our metallic to make these rail fences around, and then through here, and then she free-formed these trees, and then when she placed them on, she made it on water-soluble stabilizer, and then she placed them on here and then did the rest of the work so it's actually onto the quilt. So it's a multi-layered, multi-faceted. She painted the water, and this actually has a layer of organza, and that's what gives it that kind of shimmering look on here. But there's just many, many things that she did on this that's just a mark of an artist.
You step from the house down into the entryway, making sure your feet don't touch the ground down there, because the ground is always considered dirty and the house is considered clean.
I don't think I'd make it.
I'm so sorry we're bad guests. I don't have a shoehorn for you.
So then, like, am I allowed to touch the walls?
Yes, you can touch anything but the ground with your feet.
All right. I can see that these shoes would not bode well in Japan.
Correct.